In 1994, a Hutu group began to strike out at Tutsis in a bloody campaign of rape and murder. In 100 days, 800,000 Tutsis were already dead. My name is David Mizrahi, and welcome to History News. On the past days, there has been many controversy about the Rwandan genocide. Many people are wondering if the Rwandan genocide could have been stopped or prevented by the UN. Tonight, I am going to interview Robert, a UN expert, and Zurbi, a survivor from the genocide. Robert, how are you?
Good, thanks.
As you're an expert in the topic, and a representative of the UN, I would like to ask you some questions regarding the genocide in 1994.
Sure.
I am sure this question leads to a very extended discussion in order to find the right answer. But I would like a simple answer, please. Could the UN have stopped the genocide?
Yeah, the UN could have stopped the genocide with more support of the Security Council members.
Robert, I have another question for you. What did the UN do and what might it have done in order to stop the genocide?
Well, we deployed a peacekeeping mission called the United Nations Assistance Mission in Rwanda. The acronym UNAMIR is used for it.
Yeah.
It was composed of 2,548 troops. And UNAMIR's commanding officer, Canadian General Romeo Dallaire, he was given the responsibility to maintain the ceasefire created by President Habyarimana, assist in humanitarian aid and help with the refugees.
Okay.
As the peacekeeping mission didn't succeed because of many reasons, including the assassination of 10 Belgian soldiers. It was a very bad situation for the whole country and just for the refugees themselves. The UNAMIR troops were ordered to leave the country immediately, leaving only 270 peacekeeping soldiers in Rwanda. Fortunately, this was not enough at all.
So it didn't succeed, the peacekeeping operation. That's really bad.
No, it didn't at all.
Okay. So Robert, I have one last question to finish this interview. What did the UN might have done in order to prevent the genocide? Not to stop it, but prevent it.
Well, genocide is not something that just happens overnight or without warning. Genocide requires organization and constitutes, in fact, a deliberate strategy, and one that has to be mostly carried out by governments or groups controlling the state apparatus. Understanding the way genocide occurs and learning to recognize signs that could lead to genocide are important in making sure that such horrors do not happen again. Because on April 7th, 2004, the 10th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide, UN Secretary General Kofi outlined a 5-point action plan for preventing genocide. Number 1 was to prevent armed conflict, which usually provides the context for genocide to occur. Number 2 was to protect civilians in armed conflict, including the UN peacekeepers. Number 3 was to end impunity through judicial actions in national and international courts. Number 4 was finally to gather information and set up an early warning systems. And finally, the very last one was to take swift and decisive action, including military action, not to back down to them.
I see. So yeah, that would have been a great idea in order to prevent the genocide. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. Let's go to a brief commercial. Hello and welcome back to History News. With us, please welcome Zurbi. How are you?
Pretty good.
As you're a survivor from the genocide, I would like you to please share your experience with us if you're comfortable with that, of course.
Sure. Well, back in 1994, it was pretty dark times. Actually, in 93, basically everyone was expecting it. Everyone was living on the edge. When the forces came in 94, and my family, kind of hard to say, but my family passed away, basically, they were murdered. And a lot of people I knew in the village were murdered as well, brutally. They were raped, they were burned, they were gunned down. And some were forced to turn on each other, and some were kidnapped and taken away. And it's kind of really hard to go back to that, but kind of what I remember most about it.
So you were pretty small, so you don't remember everything, so that's okay. Well, thanks so much for sharing your experience with us. I would like to ask you some questions. Or I would like to ask you another question. So, do you think the UN, with the help of the US, could have prevented and stopped the genocide?
Fully, 100%. I mean, there were many causes that the U.S. could have backed, like UNAMIR. That was a peacekeeping operation and it's very unfunded and it was tossed away by the U.S. It was warning signals and UNAMIR picked it up, but the U.S. just refused to. They looked past it. Also, the U.S. has a bit of a double standard. You know, like in Bosnia, they came to their aid because most of the population was white compared to my country, Rwanda, where most of the population is black. Also, Bosnia has resources that the U.S. could have used, but Rwanda, unlike many Middle Eastern countries who have oil, we didn't have much to offer the U.S., so you know, the U.S. only kind of look after their economic interests, and we didn't have anything for them, so they didn't come.
So you're practically saying, well, not practically, but kind of saying that the U.S. was kind of racist and didn't look towards Rwanda because of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Say that with a lot of confidence. I believe the U.S. only act in their own interests and for their own people.
Sure. Okay, Zerbi, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching History News. With you, David.